Hello, my name is Francis Andofo. I welcome you to this video. If you are here, I'm assuming that you are new to the world of GIS and Geospatial Intelligence. Perhaps you are wondering why it's such a big deal and why it's making waves in various industries. Well, you are in the right place. In today's video, I will share my insights on why location intelligence is crucial and why it's becoming a new cornerstone in so many sectors. I've titled this as Understanding Geospatial Intelligence. This is my own perspective of why geospatial intelligence is so important in our day. I'm going to share with you two basic or fundamental stories that we would try to use that to understand what I mean by why geospatial intelligence is important. In the story, in the olden days, our ancestors used to sit by fireside and at night and they discuss or perhaps argue, debate, or anyhow we will call it, about where to go to find food the next day. Now this was a very important question for them because the place to go to find food was basically the decision or whatever answers they will find in this discussion was very crucial for their survival, the quality of their life. Their families depended on the food that they will find in that day. And so this was a no joke discussion. This was a discussion that would make everything change. This is a discussion of hope and this is a discussion of reality for them. Now let's remember that they were limited to information. Each of the persons within this fireside had an experience, and their level of information or the extent to which they will receive information to make the decision of answering the question, where do we find food the next day, was only limited to their individual experiences. Secondly, they had primitive tools like bows and arrows that they had to use to harvest, catch, or kill any animal of any size and of any type with the same primitive tool. They were limited, they had limited access to um information concerning the location, the movement, and they had no ways to use these bows and arrows to find them unless they come up with some interesting and traditional ways of going about it. The second story I want to share with you is a debate that has been going on in the 1800s. Since 1800s, there has been a long debate over biology and society. Now, the basic question has been, what is the role of heredity and environment in individuals' personality and development? The question of the role of individuals' genes or their family background and their environment has been a long-standing argument or debate. There has not been a conclusion yet. Many says that there will never be a conclusion, but as of today, there's still diverse opinions on what rules this place. But to some extent, I think there has been some sort of consensus to some extent. We all agree that both of them are very important in the individual's personality. As we identify that personality traits like the the skin color of someone, the faces, the emotions of individuals, anger and other things can be taken from heredity, or those are biological traits which is given to you based on who gave birth to you or the family line you come from. However, it has also been clear that the choices that we make, the preferences of what we want to wear, what we want to eat, the way we react to situations, the way we react to things, the way we understand our society, or is influenced by the environment. The fundamental between these two scenarios I've discussed with you now is centered on location. Now are basically centered on these are basically centered on where the location or the environment is very important in all the two scenarios that I have already discussed with you. In our society today, we are living in a more complex society, but it will interest you to know that nothing has changed. We do have policymakers who still make policy for us. These people are sitting by it is the modern by the fireside. They sit in the meetings. We have planners, we have marketers, we have managers, law enforcement, our parents, researchers. These are all various by the fireside meetings that still goes on today. And interestingly, the question of where to do stuff has not changed. The advantage or what has changed is that in this our modern society, we do have bigger groups. We are not only having small meetings, but we can have meetings of large people where we can benefit from a larger audience experiences. We have access to more data, and our information that we have is not limited to the experiences we have as individuals, but we also have more information about other people's experiences on the internet where we can read, learn, and apply them in addition to the experiences that we have. So we do have multi sources of getting information to make good decisions. In our day, we still have advanced tools. We have more sophisticated equipment to measure, to store, to distribute goods and information, to share knowledge, and do so many things more efficiently. We are also opportune to have technical knowledge. We have more skills that we combine with different informations, and we have the ability to present them in an intuitive manner such that even a non-technical person could understand what we mean. We do have the more technical advancement of trying to artificially simulate our society and manipulate it to understand how things were before, how things are now, and how things would be in the future. So we do have the opportunity to model our society now, and we can tell stuff to how things actually interplay in place. We live in a world now where it's more global. We learn from each other. We have people marrying different tribes and people coming from different backgrounds, speaking different languages. And we have come to a point where we have people living in the same space, but they speak different languages. People living in the same space, but they have different cultural values. And people living in the same space, and they have different opinions and perspective about life. On top of all this, we also have the wicked problems of society. In our time, we are faced with problems like crimes, disaster, climate change, competitions between businesses, diseases, poverty, hunger, and etc. But with all these things happening, what I want to say is that our society is more complex, and the question of where has never changed. As the planner sits to discuss about the society, he thinks about where can we put the next children park so that children can have easy access to the park. Where the policymaker sits and wonder where the policies we are making, which people would it affect, and how does it change the way society is. Marketers are wondering, where can we find the potential customers that needs our goods so that we can be able to deliver to them exactly what we want. Managers are wondering which part of their business they need to change to improve and increase their profit. We have law enforcement agencies who are looking for, where are the criminals planning to target next? Where can we go and intercept a crime happening? Where can we find a criminal? Where can we find the suspect? The question of where sounds everywhere. Researchers are combining so many resources together, but most importantly, they are talking about, they are researching about society, they are researching about places in our society, and the question about, where are you talking about? The findings you have received is related to certain group of people living in a specific location, and they try to understand how their society and location affect them. And so we still have the question about where, and this is one of the major reasons why location has become very important in our day. In our day now, we have technologies that can be able to help us to be able to get specific answers to specific questions like where. We have technologies that can help us to be able to understand what would happen in the future at a particular place, and how the incident at a particular place is influenced by incident by the next place, or how the incident happening today can lead to another incident that will happen in the next minute or in the next near future. And this is where I want to bring this YouTube video, and I want to explain that spatial intelligence, geospatial intelligence, is almost everywhere. Whether you are watching me as a marketer, as a policymaker, a manager, a law enforcement, or a parent, as a researcher, or the city boys on the street, every day, no matter how many questions we ask ourselves, the most fundamental question that is very instrumental to our survival and our quality of life is the questions about the where, because that is the only questions that gives us answers that are specific to our needs. And in the next subsequent videos, I am going to explain to you about GIS, Geographic Information Systems. I would take my time and go through each of them and I try to explain how geographic information system has evolved. We will talk about geographic information system from the basic to the advanced level, and we'll be able to understand each and every one of them. I hope this video has given you a good fundamental or a good foundation of what geospatial intelligence is all about, why it's making so much impact in the world, and why we shouldn't be surprised if it takes over most of the industries that we currently have. And so we all have to buckle our belts and decide to be part of this movement. It is not something strange. It is not something that is beyond anyone. So I'll take my time and discuss them in all the subsequent videos that we have.